Hi, I'm Buck Stowers from Big Boys and Big Girls, and today I'd like to welcome Werner Bergin.
Hey, Buck.
From Big Boys and Big Girls. Good, thank you, bro. Werner's been a member of ours since 22nd of July 2013, so just under 2.25 years.
Yep.
And instead of me giving you all of Werner's stats, I would like, maybe to ask Werner, how big were you when you first started?
Started at 272 kilos.
272, and what's your weight now?
116.6.
And how much have you lost?
155.5 kilos.
155.5 kilos. Wow, that's amazing. Many people are out there and they understand that how hard it was for you to even think about going to a gym.
Yeah, it was. I'd tried losing weight before, but yeah, it was just the environment wasn't there. But I think the biggest thing was it wasn't up here. I wasn't ready in here, and no matter what anyone said, it wasn't the time for me to do it.
So what was the defining moment that made you change, or made you make that courageous step to doing something about your weight? And there's so many other things that are involved. It's just not weight, but we'll get there. But
yeah.
What was that defining moment?
It was really one Christmas back in 2012. My boss, whose boss was one of your gym members, came to me and said, "Look, you're eating yourself to the grave. Boy, you're a good person. We really like you. We don't want to see you go." Kevin's gym does this program, Big Boys, and I said, "Oh yeah, forget that.
Yeah,
I don't want. I've been to a gym and yeah, fuck." So that Christmas, he turns up with a ream of paper, and literally it was 50 or 60 odd pages, which was one of your testimonials. And I thought, oh shit, they're pretty serious about this. I better have a read of it. And I started reading. I didn't get any work done that day. Sorry, boss. But yeah, it was just amazing, the stories, the results, and I don't know. It was just, must have been the right time, right place, and something clicked. And I said, yeah, if I don't do anything, I'm gonna let Mum bury another son before her.
Yes.
And that's something I didn't want to do.
So, when I remember your first day that you walked through the door, and how tall are you?
186 centimetres.
186, so about 6'2"?
Yeah.
And you're not a little guy at 272 kilos, 6'2".
Yep.
You're a big unit. Do you want to tell me some of the things that become just about impossible for a big man to do?
Just about everything, really. I mean, you don't go out unless you have to. Like, really, my life was go to work, come home, have food, lie down on the couch and watch TV. That was basically life 7 days a week.
And what sort of food were you eating back then?
Oh, whatever I could lay my hands on. It was all sweet stuff, cream and takeaways, all that kind of stuff. It was like lettuce was a dirty word.
Yes. And what do you eat now?
Lettuce, salads,
all fibrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. All food for your body now?
Yeah. It's been a total lifestyle change.
We've been talking about rationale quite a bit, and how we rationale or make excuses for what we don't want to do, and what we need to do, but we put off for tomorrow what we can do today.
Yep.
And what were the excuses that you used to make? Not to get active, not to change your lifestyle, not to join in with the rest of mankind.
I don't think there were any excuses. It was just I didn't see myself as deserving to fit in with other people. it was, I had my own little world. I was safe. I didn't have any pressure. Just going out wasn't a thing you did. You went out when there was family involved, but otherwise, yeah, I was just staying at home. And
is there a form of depression wrapped around that when you're that big and you start to isolate yourself from everyone else?
I don't know. In a way, it could be. I didn't see it as such, but whoever does. But yeah, it at times it did get hard knowing that friends were out doing things and you couldn't go and do it. That was probably the hardest.
You know, number one, I just want to say congratulations, because I've known you from day one, and it was your big boss that came to me and said, we've got this great guy and he's so good at his job and we don't want to lose him, but we don't want him to die. And that's what we think that he's doing, is he's digging his own grave with his teeth. And many of our big boys and big girls know the feeling of not being able to stop. And then rationale excuses will shut down, you know, and you know, I know that you've been there, and that every day walking through the gym, you know, what is the secret? I don't know if anyone's got a secret, but what is the secret to the longevity of being able to get through the doors and do something?
It's something you said probably on the second or third class I was at the gym. It's got to be up here. Where the mind goes, the body will follow.
Beautiful.
You've got to make the commitment for your family, yeah, but for yourself. You've got to say, look, I'm doing this so I'm going to be alive. I'm going to see the family grow. And that's the biggest thing. I've got nephews, I've got great nephews, I've got nieces, and I want to see them grow up.
Yeah.
And the way it was going, I wasn't going to do that.
What's the impact? What's the impact been like? Losing 155 kilos, and you know you've just come from your walk down around the water.
Yeah, it's a totally different lifestyle now. I mean, I could spend 8-9 hours a day on a computer playing games, doing nothing. Now I'm lucky if I'm down to maybe an hour or two in a week.
Just as leisure.
Just as leisure, just to relax.
Yes.
But otherwise it's the gym every evening.
Yes.
On a Sunday, going for a walk around the waterfront. We're just slowly building up for the Round Taupo Challenge.
That's another thing. Since I've known you, walking around 1.3 kilometre block, that was a challenge.
It was.
And if anyone knows big boys and big girls and what we do there, there's a 1.3 kilometre block where you just walk out of the gym and you turn right, and you go left, 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 left until you're back at the gym. And it's 1.3 kilometres. And for anyone that weighs 272 kilos, maybe you'd like to explain what that feels like.
That was the longest I'd ever walked. I mean, until I started with the program, just walking down the front steps, I'd be blue.
Yes.
It was that hard. I look back on it now and I wonder how the hell I ever kept a job.
Yes.
Because, man, I was so close to death it wasn't funny.
Yeah. And I'm glad you didn't die. I'm glad you're here with us today. One of the stories that you told me years ago was when you were on the 6th floor and there was a fire alarm. Do you want to tell us that story?
Yeah. Our office was on the 13th floor of the building in Hereford Street, and the fire alarm went. And long story short, 13 floors going down, and that's not going up, that's just going down. By the time I hit the 4th floor exit where we leave to go up to the safe area, I could feel my heart just about pushing through my chest. It was that much of a strain. And yeah, they basically said, next time don't worry, just stay there and the fireman will bring you down. That's how bad it was.
And how long afterwards there was another fire alarm?
Yeah.
And what happened then?
It would have been about 8 months later. There was another one, and I wouldn't say I ran, but I got downstairs and I was out of breath for maybe all of about 2 or 3 minutes.
And your recovery was pretty quick.
And yeah.
But you made it down.
I made it down, and it was an awesome feeling knowing that I can do it and not kill myself doing it.
And I think the most important part is that when people tell you to stay upstairs during a fire alarm, just let you know if there was a fire, you'd be dead.
Yeah, basically.
You've done some amazing things, my friend, in the time that I've known you, and they didn't come without hard work. What are the things that you've achieved as of late?
The biggest thing is just staying active, getting out. It wasn't long after starting the program that I actually started going out and realising that, bugger it, I'm going out for me. I was no longer afraid of going out. Yeah, people would say things, but it's like, no, I'm going for a walk for me.
Yes.
It'd take me an hour and a half to do 2.k, but I did it. And I did it day after day after day. And it was hard, but it was, this is for me. This is going to make me live.
And you've done some other things, you know, like weighing quarter of a ton, more than quarter of a ton, probably closer to 300 kilos than 250.
Yep.
And walking out on the street where people stare at you because you're bigger than society.
Yep.
That had to be hard, but I know that you've done other things.
Yeah, that's one of the good things with the program, because you're with people that are going through the same things you have.
Yes, so Werner was telling us about the things that he's achieved, and one of them was the mud run.
Yeah, 220 kilos, and that was scary. The thing that made me do it is there were other people from the group doing it, and hey, you got to try. Worst is you get stuck and they have a helicopter come and pull you out.
Yeah. Werner was by far the biggest man there, the biggest person there. And do you want to tell them, like, I went with Werner last year, not like, oh, it was last year, on the Tough Guy Tough Girl 6k mud run through obstacles. And we were the biggest group there, I think, in size.
Yep.
But Werner was by far the biggest man there. And do you want to tell them what happens when a big man jumps into the mud?
Yeah, you get stuck. And if you think working out at the gym's hard, try crawling through mud when you can hardly move. When
you're 220 kilos.
Yeah.
And I saw the expression on this guy's face. I was actually in pretty good nick back then. And I was scooting through the mud to get people out of the mud. And then I looked over at my mate who was on the other side, and he was stuck in the mud. He was stuck in the mud, and I was just looked at his face and I said, "Do you want a hand?" And he said to me, "What did you say to me?"
No, I'm alright.
Yeah, and then you said the F word. And I says, "Come on mate, I'll give you a hand," and you told me to F off.
Yeah, no point, two of us being stuck.
I remember going back, and one of the most courageous sights is seeing a 220 kilo guy battle it out. Because when you're in the mud, what everyone doesn't tell you is the heavier you are, the more you sink.
Yep.
And the more you move your legs around, the deeper you go in. It's like getting stuck in clay. And we got there in the end.
We did. It took a while, but yeah.
We were one of the last to come through. We weren't the last.
No.
But we were one of the last, and big fella made it through. He's hardly the big fella anymore. But what are the other things that you've managed to achieve?
Beginning of this year, we did the Great Lake Relay, which is 155k round Taupo.
Wonderful.
So yeah, gone from not being able to walk 20 steps without almost fainting, to I did the Hatepi Hill League, which is 6k, 4 of which is on God knows what kind of incline.
Yes.
And that took me just over an hour and 10 minutes to do the 6Ks. So,
and I know that you're preparing for some other stuff.
yeah, we're doing it again this year.
Yes.
And by the looks of it, Darren's got me probably doing the first leg.
Excellent.
Which is 14K this time. So, yeah, another challenge.
Another challenge.
Yep, and that's the good thing about the program. Not only do you get the classes, but we also set our own goals. And it's like, okay, we're going to do this. And then everyone just comes together and starts working towards getting everyone through it.
You know, one of my jobs with big boys and big girls is not to do everything for them. It's to have an environment where they're all safe and they're all doing the same thing, but they've got to fight, you know, and you know that. And there were times inside our boxing classes where I'd be paired up with you, and you're a systems a manager, a business systems analyst for Chorus, and so you've got a pretty good head on your shoulder. But I want to ask you about how you can count to 50. And do you do that in tens?
No, I do that in buck numbers, which goes like 2, 10, 20, 50.
Yeah. So at Big Boys and Big Girls, me and Werner pair up, we cheat a lot, and we seem to finish first. But what are the funny things that have happened in Big Boys and Big Girls? I know the classes are hilarious.
Yeah.
And you've got to be able to take a joke about your weight, otherwise you end up crying like a baby.
Definitely. They don't call me the Gruffalo for nothing.
And what is a Gruffalo?
Me about 150 kilos ago.
Yes. And Gruffalo is the name that we gave Werner, because a Gruffalo is half of buffalo and half of a what?
Giraffe.
A giraffe, because he's 6'2". Anyway, my friend, what's next for you? Is it the relay, and what sort of weight do you want to get down to? Is there a goal for you?
Well, after talking with Darren, I want to hit 100 kilos by February next year. Yes. So that's another 17 to go.
Another 17.
And then I think I'm starting on the hardest journey, which isn't losing the weight, it's maintaining it and keeping it there and not letting it go back on.
Well, in 2.25 years, you've done an amazing job. And I know that the support that you've shown me, and the support that the Big Boys and Big Girls and Genetics has shown you is extremely reciprocal.
Yeah.
What would you like to be known for after all of this is said and done? What would you like to, be known for that you've done?
I think the biggest thing would be if I can have helped someone take the step to come into the program and save their life. What more could you ask for?
Absolutely.
And I hear it from people that it's an inspiration, and they're starting to get out and get more active with their families because of it. And
yes.
That's all I can ask for. Someone helped me, I've helped someone else.
Wonderful.
And that's what we're here for.
I just want to say something to that. I was moving a trailer, and I've got really bad knees, and so I sent a text out to the guys to give me a hand to be able to move some stuff out of a trailer. And Werner turns up. How heavy would you have been then?
Oh, it was about 180 odd kilos.
About 180 kilos. I tell you, when you call and ask for help, it's amazing how big people arrive. And blessings come in all shapes and sizes, and we're definitely blessed to have Werner today. If this could be sent around, just share it. An inspiration of a man that has lost 155 kilos and is on his way to lose another 17 and maintain it. And this has taken him 2.5 years, or less than. A huge life change. And on finishing, I just want to say thank you. I wish you all the best, my friend.
Thank you.
You've been a blessing to have at Big Boys and Big Girls.
I've enjoyed it, and you're not getting rid of me.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's for life.
And is there any message for Darren that you'd like to give Darren?
Thanks, Darren. You've saved my life along with Buck and the team. It's meant the world to me.
Thank you, bro.